to do, everybody? This is the segment called 2Inspire. 2Inspire is a show, a segment about people who are very inspirational to other people. And it can be anybody from hip hop artists to people like activists or athletes. And today I wanted to talk about one particular artist, hip hop artist, who's currently retiring in 2020. His name is Logic. Sadly, it sucks that he's going because I do love his music, but I am happy for him that he's gonna go live his life in I forget where he's gonna go live his life. I think it was Montana, shooting guns and stuff like that, and spending time with his new baby boy, little Bobby, and his wife. So I wish him well. So this is why I'm doing this video for him. Hopefully it reaches him at some point in the future. Anyways, let's begin with the origin story. Logic, also known as Sir Robert Bryson Hall II, also known as Bobby Tarantino, was born on January 2nd, 1989 in Maryland. During that time, he had actually a lot of family members. He had one father who was African American, one mother who was white, and he had 4 sisters and 3 brothers. And he lived in a Section 8 home environment. Now that we got the complete origins, let's get to the come up. So during the time, actually, his brothers were selling drugs, and they were selling drugs to, some of the time, to his father. Crazy, right? Which he quotes in one of the lyrics. I imagined a better life, where I never had a debt in life. Hit you with a gunshot in dead of night. Selling crack to my own pops, pushing weight to my own block. Yeah, so while his brothers were selling drugs and selling it to his father, and his father was getting high, his mother... Well, first let's start with his sisters. His sisters were getting raped and getting pregnant at a young age, and his mother wasn't doing any better on her part, as she was being very abusive to Bobby, which he actually quotes in this verse. What about the time I was 9 and my mama almost murdered me? Don't think I forgot about the shit, it still burdens me. Her bare hands tight around my throat. I can't breathe, I screamed, I can't breathe, mama. Don't you want me, mama? Don't you love me, mama? What the fuck? What was you then, God? Tell me now. How is a brother supposed to stay sane? Tell me how. So, Logic, dealing with this toxic environment, decided at 17 years old that he wanted to leave his house. And during that time, he was, going on tour, and eventually he actually opened up for Ghostface Killer. And that's when he met his boy, Lenny, who was in the crowd listening to him, who was a big fan of hip-hop. Lenny decides to let Logic live in his basement in the meantime, while Logic decided he wanted to focus his life career goal on becoming a hip-hop artist for an entire year. So Lenny decides, hey, I'll help you out and I'll pay for your finances for that whole year. So he took care of Logic for a while. He mentions the struggles he went through while Lenny was taking care of him in his Young Sinatra 4 album, the song called Last Call, until Logic finally got signed within that year to Def Jam Records. Now, let's begin with the boy's musical accomplishment. While waiting in 2014 for his first album to get out, he decided to put some mixtapes during his time in 2011 and 2013, which he put out Young, Broke, and Infamous, Undeniable, and Welcome to Forever, which were actually some pretty impressive mixtapes. I actually enjoyed them pretty much a lot. And then finally in 2014, he puts out his first album, which is Under Pressure. 2015, he put out The Incredible True Story. 2016, he puts out Bobby Tarantino. In 2017, he puts out Everybody. In 2018, he actually puts out 2 albums back to back. He puts out Bobby Tarantino 2, and he also puts out Young Sinatra 4. Which is actually some pretty good music right there. And then he decides in 2019 to do it again, put a back-to-back albums, which he puts out for a novel. He puts out a soundtrack called Supermarket, and then he puts out The Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. Finally, in 2020, he puts out No Pressure, which was his final goodbye album to us. He decided to make his announcement that he is retiring into the hip-hop and just to settle down, which is not a bad thing to say. He decided he had more ambitions for something else, not just to become a hip-hop artist who constantly gets criticized. You feel me? Under Pressure received number 4 in the Billboard's Top 200, and The Incredible True Story received number 3 in the top Billboard's 200. Everybody peaked at number 2, and Bobby Tarantino also peaked at number 2 in the top Billboard's 200s. Bobby Tarantino 2 picked at number 4, and Confessions of a Dangerous Mind peaked on the top of the charts of Billboard's 200s. Bobby also was in the cover of 2013's Double XL, and he also created Bobby Boy Records and collaborated on a joint venture with Def Jam Records on it in 2018, I believe. Here's a list of artists that he has. He's got John Lindo, Damian Lamar Hudson, Big Lambo, and Kaju, I think I'm saying that right. Nominated in 2018 for Best Song of the Year for his 1-800 and his music video, Best Music of the Year for 1-800. He was also in 2016 nominated for an HMMA Award for Best Original Song, Suckers for Pain. 2018 he won an MTV VMA Award for Best Collaboration with Alicia Cara and Khalid. Also nominated for Best Message in Video for the VMA Awards in 2018. He did win a VMA for Best Fight Against the System Award, which for his song for Black Spider-Man, which was featured with Damian Lamar Hudson. His supermarket novel received #1 New York Times bestseller. He was in a Netflix documentary series called Rapture. He also is a big advocate for prevention for depression and suicide, mental health pretty much in general, which he put in his album Everybody in his 1-800 line, which is supposed to be a tribute to helping those with suicidal issues. So I want to talk about the man now and his music. Now, the reason why I want to talk about him is because personally, I used to not listen to hip hop back in the day because I wasn't a big fan of it. All I kept hearing about was cars, blings, girls doing sexual stuff to you, all that stuff, drugs, beating up on someone. So the point being is that, Logic was a different approach to music. He still had some great hip hop vibes to him, but at the same time he wasn't acting like anything. He was acting like himself. He was talking about real stuff. He's talking about in his albums like Legacy, he talks about his perspective of being an artist, but also working so hard, but not realizing you're working so hard for so much money that you forget you forget maybe family, that family is important. So he kind of gives that perspective. Clickbait, he talks about how people comment and leave social media messages that are very discriminating. Confessions of Danger Mind also kind of interprets into that as well, because it's about how he feels and his insecurities that people keep on trying to bring out of him. Dear God, this is another song where he talks about his issues with his mother. Everything. Every one of his songs is not just about ice and chains and gold and money and about being black or anything like that. It's pretty much about him talking about his personal experience. He doesn't try to get out of his own element, and he tried in every one of his different albums to put up some different types of music. Now, the first time I heard a couple of his albums, I was always here and there about it, but when I heard it over and over again, I realized it's just a different perspective. It's not the same stuff he does. It's something new, which is not something you should be hating on. You should actually kind of embrace it a little bit. It's good that an artist switches it up a little bit. Not everybody likes his music, but the man knows how to create music, and he's inspired a lot of people throughout the day. And on top of that, he's very humble beginnings, humble backgrounds, and he even got his friends from where they're at and moved them to the top as well. Now they're working in his Bobby Boy Records, and he's trying to retire and let them do their own thing. And he also helps them out, always takes care of them. He's also big with his fans. And the incredible true story, when that was coming out, he went on a tour bus to go walk and meet his real big diehard fans in person and did, I think, a video of it. So the man really showed his strive for 10 years. And I think he deserves this proper retirement. And he's also been very inspirational to a lot of people in the community, especially those who are younger than the young community. Anyways, that being said, Logic, Bobby Tarantino, whatever you want to call him, the man has accomplished so much. He truly has inspired so many people, including myself. He is, hands down, someone to inspire.